Okay, we're having so much fun here. We want to introduce our channel. It's called Cake and AI. We had this idea, started off probably a few weeks ago. We wanted to start a channel to help, people in their late 30s, 40s, 50s to transition into AI or adapt to AI. And to be honest, recently we're all quite anxious about what's happening out there. Is AI going to replace our jobs? There's so many questions. And look, we don't have all the answers, but yeah, that's how we started this channel.
And we
Paula.
thought, yes, we thought that, well, actually, we still have a few things to figure out. But we thought that if we came every week and we brought some topics around AI to help us all unpack AI, because we're all in the same boat trying to figure out what's next, but also to make this content a little bit more interesting, we thought that we would talk about food and what it is that we've found that is good, or a restaurant or some type of recommendation. And we would also ask our guests if they would tell us their favourite dessert, which is why we called the channel Cake and AI. So it is AI centric, but it also has a little bit of sweetness in our discussion around food and cake. So with that, Linda, I'll hand over to you. Let's talk about AI. I actually want you to share with the audience. You just built an app. Tell us about your app.
Yeah, so it's quite exciting because recently I'm hearing about vibe coding, I'm hearing about building apps, and in the past, people have a lot of ideas, but they're being handicapped, like meaning you have to hire a software developer, you have to tell them exactly what you want built, so you have to spend a lot of time with them for them to understand you and then start building. It takes time, money, and a lot of effort. But today, it could be as simple as, for example, I went over over the weekend, I went camping. And then in the morning, I came up with this idea because with my kids, we've been using a paper base to like track down their stars. So if they did something good, we give them a star. If they did something naughty, we take away a star, and it's always manual process.
Right.
And then on top of that, all the house chores we like them to do, but they just don't have that visual, that list that, they completed the task. So what I did in the evening, I was like, how about I'll give it a go? And I went on Claw and I type in a few lines to say, build me a chore tracker star chart, something along the line like that. And then I said, list all the chores. These are like clean the room, make the bed, do your mathletic, etc., etc. Within a few minutes, you get an app out of it. I tested the app, and then I was like, okay, I want a function where it allows me to change the name of the chores to add or delete. So I went back to it and said, can you add this function, as I mentioned? And a few minutes later, I've got another revised app to include that function. And now after that, I tested it again, and then I thought, okay, I want a pin there, just in case my kids
What is
adding a pin.
What is a pin?
A pin number on the app,
right,
to stop the kids adding the stars to the app themselves. So they could be adding extra 5 stars without me knowing. So I said, okay, put a button there with a pin. So
how
only
would they get access to the app?
I have to open it for them in this case. But again, the beauty of Claude or AI is that you can just tell it what to do and it'll update for you. So without you paying someone another week worth of work, you just have to type in a few lines and it can do that for you. And then after probably like within the 2 hours, already got an working app, and my kids started looking at it and they're like, okay, let me use it. So this morning, my daughter made the bed using the app for the first time. She goes, I made the bed. Can I take this item off? So just to show you as an example, like there's so much more you can do. But this is just a quick example, something that I did over the weekend while I'm camping on the campsite with my phone.
Right, so isn't that interesting? And I did see the app because Linda sent it to me, and it's called Chore Stars.
Yes.
And there are items listed for those, just to help you understand. So make the bed. What was another one? Put the washing into the bathroom.
Pack away the clothes.
Pack away the dishes.
Yes, and pack away the dishes.
Yeah. So, and when the kids go down the list, they can pick items that they can do, and then they get a star for that. So it's interesting. And what's interesting is that you were doing this manually anyway, and you just experimented with Claude, and then you got this really amazing, very simple, which is the beauty of this particular app.
And yes. And on top of that, like every family situation is different. Like now you have the ability to build app which is tailored to you. And then if you put that into a work context, you know, only you understand your workflow, your pain points, and then for you then to be able to use AI to build an app that's tailored to meet your company's requirement, rather than you trying to translate the requirement to someone else who could spend another few months and then come back not meeting your expectation. So just think about the possibilities, and I can imagine in the near future there will be a lot of money saved, a lot of time saved, and I can see that, you know, anyone with great ideas, they can start executing and start making all those apps, you know, a possibility. Yes.
Yeah, and that's interesting that you say. So if people are out there and they're thinking, wow, I might just like to experiment with another app type game for their family, would you suggest to just go into Claude or any other particular? Why did you pick Claude?
Yes. So Claude is just the recent, you know, the most popular one. But at the moment, as you can see, the transition, the changes in AI is like so quick. Like today could be Claude, tomorrow could be Open Claude, the day after could be ChatGPT again. So I think they're just trying to compete with each other. But I think my advice is that just start, just try it. That's how we can adapt. Just give it a go. You know, write a code, write an app, use it to solve any pain point that you have in everyday life or work or business. Investing, anything you can think of, I believe will benefit you a lot. But the key is to give it a go and try it out.
Okay, great. And so just circling back, last week you had mentioned that you were using Gemini. So between Gemini, can you just talk us through the different the different AI applications that you've used and what you recommend right now?
From my experience, both are equally as easy to use, meaning...
Which ones, though? Can you just list those?
Gemini and Claude are both fairly straightforward. Like, it's just like me talking to someone. So it's very... you know, you don't have to use special language. You have to use something fancy. Just use a normal everyday language, and the AI, Gemini and Claude, will be able to capture your requirements. The other thing is you don't even need to type anymore. Nowadays, you can turn on the mic and dictate.
Oh, and how do you do that?
Talk it through.
You turn on the mic
yes.
through
So
the computer?
You open the app on your phone, and then there's a mic button. Just press the mic button and then just talk it through. And then it's smart enough to capture all the requirements and then make you an app or provide recommendations. My experience is using Gemini, it's the reasoning is very strong. For example, like investments, you know, asking for recommendation and then project 10 years returns. They're really good because it's got a lot of data. Google got a lot of data that it could tap into and then summarize it for you. And then, so that I find it really useful. Whereas Claude, it's just recently, it's very strong in, making apps, making flowchart, like visual, which Jeff and I currently, I haven't experienced it, but Claude, you can start making visual stuff, flowcharts, pictures, apps. So, but I'm sure they'll keep updating. So every day is different, but that's where I'm at, experiencing with those two apps at the moment.
Have you tried ChatGPT for anything? Because I use ChatGPT a lot. In fact, it's the primary one I use.
Yes. Recently, I haven't been using ChatGPT. Probably 4 months ago, I was using it, but I'm sure it have updated a lot. So what have you been using for ChatGPT?
Yeah, so I've been using ChatGPT for images, a lot of images. I would presume, though, that I know Google, you say, has a big database, but certainly ChatGPT would scale the internet and get the same sort of things that Google would have access to.
Yes, I agree.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm using it for images, for generating images, and I'm finding it. How am I finding it? Look, it's great for showing you how things would look, which saves you the time of having to mock that up or pay someone to mock that up. However, it's still not there. Like, it'll give you the idea, it'll help you eliminate some things as well, but I feel that you still need, once you've settled on what you like, to ask a graphic designer to render that in a final way.
Yes. I think you touch on a point where a lot of people are discovering at this stage. It's good enough to give you probably 85% of the info that you need, but you still need the final touches. For example, investment, you probably need, a tax accountant to review it, or, same with engineering. Like, we get some ideas, but I think once it become like a final product, even for my app, I would still recommend using a software engineer to cast their eyes over it, connect the final dots.
Okay, fine.
And so I think your observation is on point. Yeah.
Right. And did you get a software engineer to look over it?
Not yet, because I'm still playing with it and I'm still updating it. I'm still improving the functions. And right now I don't need their input right now. But down the track, when I see that the product is pretty much captures the requirements, and I do a few tests as I go as well to make sure that all the functions that I want is pretty much there, then we'll get someone to, review the code and then tidy up all the things.
Would that be Ivan?
Yes. My husband's a software engineer, so that really...
Would that be Ivan?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Just quickly, though, I wanted something that you touched on that I want to clarify. So you said you would make an adjustment through your prompt, and then you would get... so you wanted to add, like, I want to add some more chores or whatever it was you changed. Did it automatically update the app, or does it just update the link and then you need to re-upload the app? Like, do you get the question?
Yes. So it will update the app with a file that you can download, and then that file then you can put in your own domain, or another option.
What do you mean your own domain? Did you have to buy a domain name?
Yeah. Like, for example, you have your own website to operate your own business, and you want that app to be sold through that business, and you want to put it on your own website. That's one of the options. The other option is there's Google Play for example, Android systems, where you can upload it as an app. But obviously there's a few more steps for it. You have to convert this file that you get from AI to an app where you can upload onto Google Play and then let millions of people worldwide to download your app. So there's a few more steps there, but you can ask AI how to do it, and then this AI will tell you all the steps how to get there. Yeah.
Right, and is that why when you sometimes go into an app, it says you need to update even the big apps, like the big ones that we all use? Is that because they make changes and then you've got to re-download it? Or I'm not sure how it works. We don't know. Yeah. I don't know how this works.
Yeah. So circle back to the app. I think at this stage we just all exploring, and then I think the best way is that once you get to certain steps, if you do get stuck, my advice would be just ask the AI that you're using at the time. Just say, I'm stuck here. I want to do this. Tell me the steps. And then you'll get your answers most of the time.
Where is it currently being hosted? Because my kids opened it and started to play with it. So where is it hosted?
So I just went online and bought a domain name for like $13. And then I just upload it up there so anyone can access it just to have a go. But obviously it's not a complete app where it doesn't have a database, so it doesn't remember all the points that you accumulated. So the next step for me, which then I go back to my AI, is to work on the database, and I'll see if you can do that for me. But I'll update you guys in our next chat just to see, how we go, or whether I need to enlist my husband, the software engineer's help, to put together the database linking the app. But I'm trying to not involve him and see how far I can go. And then I can report back to you guys and let
Excellent.
you guys know. Yes.
Excellent. All right. Well, is there anything else we want to share about our AI journey for this week?
I think we've shared a lot this week. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yes. So I did speak to somebody today, an accountant, and I asked him if they were using AI in the business yet. And he said, no, they really weren't in any large way, because most of the clients were not happy with having their information uploaded into an AI system. And that is an important point. Yes. Because as I am a lawyer, and as lawyers and accountants, we have to preserve our clients' confidentiality. So what I have done a couple of times now is I've taken my proposed draft and sanitized it, so taken out names or anything confidential, and uploaded it into ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT to critique the wording, and it has certainly come back with cleaning up the wording. Now, it is using my initial draft, but I'm finding it phenomenal in just tightening things that I wouldn't have thought to tighten. And I actually do prefer some of its suggestions to well-established precedents, knowing when things can be kept and removed. So I think there comes with that, there does come a knowledge that's necessary for using these tools.
Yes.
But it was interesting to me because this accountant said that was a barrier to their firm using AI, and that was clients' receptiveness to having, and accountants deal with the most confidential information, so bank statements, financial returns, tax returns, business statements. So it is an interesting question, and I did suggest that there must be, and maybe this is something for us to research for next time, there must be interfaces that accountants and lawyers can use that are protecting the information from going out to the World Wide Web.
That's a very important point that you touch on, because just imagine a lot of business out there. I think that will be a common question that needs to be asked: how much you can share, and
or how you can, what tool can you implement on top of the general AI systems available to protect. There would be providers out there providing this very service, and so maybe we'll look into that.
We'll look into that,
for next time.
That'll be an interesting topic.
Yeah, so that's really something to the forefront of my mind, and just something that was told to me today as well, which I found fascinating, is apparently there is some accounting regulation now where accountants are not allowed to send your tax file number over the internet. I'm not sure whether they can send it with a multifactorial password or whether there's just a blanket, you can't send your tax file number over the internet, which I would find quite frustrating, because over the years I have asked for my tax file number from my accountant and it has been provided to me.
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm just wondering just the parameters of what that means. But there's something interesting to share.
Yes, that will be a whole discussion coming up,
Yes.
I think. Yeah, that's a big, important point that you touched on.
Yes. Finally, and just one other thing to add, anyone that does company searches will notice now that ASIC has taken off directors' addresses. And in the past, the directors' addresses were always included, because when people wanted to serve directors with legal proceedings or locate them for that purpose, they would go to the address. And it dawned on me today that our world has evolved to a state of such privacy and people wanting to protect information. And hasn't the climate changed, even to the point where ASIC has now removed directors' addresses? Now, I don't know why ASIC removed directors' addresses. I'm just assuming it's to protect people's privacy. And if that's the case, that's certainly a shift in how people operate from
the other thing
time
is,
ago.
you know, that's interesting to hear, because with AI recently I was, you know, trying to look up someone and just want some information, and AI was able to gather so much information for that person that it is a bit scary. Like, if I'm in their position, and if AI knows so much about this person or me just with a click of a button, maybe then that's part of the consideration, removing the address of a director to protect the physical safety. So because of that, I think there's a lot of other things that will surface, you know, in the future, and it may change the way how we present our data, our information, and also whether there's rules against the AI companies, how much they should be provide to people about a particular person. It'll be interesting. Yes, going forward. But that will be another important point going forward. How is the policy, the government, going to address that? How is the AI company going to address that? And how is the individual from a company level and personal level use our data and protect our own data, actually?
So, Linda, let me ask you, when you looked up information about this person, did it give you accurate information? And the reason I say this is that I have a couple of times tried to locate somebody's mobile number and email address, and AI has, the search engine has given me utter rubbish. And how I know that is because eventually I've found their email or I found their phone number on the card that they gave me, or in some other way, and it wasn't accurate. So I'm not sure how accurate these search engines are. And interestingly for me, where do they pull these phone numbers from?
Yes.
So it might not be correct, is what I'm saying.
You always have to take it with a grain of salt. With AI, you don't trust everything that you see. There's certain levels of, concern, or you'll probably have to make your own decision as to how trustworthy they are. But in saying that, a lot of the informations are quite valuable. In my experience, I did get their phone number, I did get their email.
You did.
And I did get their position, for example, is like in this department, but I did get a final summary of the exact thing that they do, which I could not get from the website. The company website I could not get. So these are the extra info that I got just through type in AI and searching for that information, like a person in certain company. So that was my experience. And certainly, it saved a lot of time for me to find out about this person. But again, it got me thinking, what about this is on the reversal? Like, someone's searching about me. What does that mean? What how do I protect my privacy so it's not being used, in the wrong way. So yes, it's we don't have all the answers, and like I said, yes, we are here to discuss what we know, and we're learning with everybody in this community, and it's a journey for us all. I think what we're hoping every week is, we talk to each other about AI, what we see, what we learn. Also, what we learn from all our colleagues around us, all the people around us. And then between me and Paula, we're going to, share with you guys, and hopefully you guys can also give us feedback, and we learn together.
Yes, and we have some interesting guests for you coming up. But Linda, before we finish this segment, we get to the cake report. So each week, Linda and I are going to talk to you about something that we've found in the way of sweet things, mainly. And today I'd like to talk to you about these Scotch finger biscuits that I found in the supermarket. So they don't need to be always fancy things. Now these are 50% less sugar Scotch finger biscuits, and I am a big fan, mainly because there is less sugar, but also because these things are quite tasty. So if you're looking for a traditional biscuit and you're a little bit old-fashioned, try these Scotch finger 50% less sugar. Linda, what are you talking to us about with food? What would you like to share for the week?
I think this week we'll let this Arnold Scotch finger take the shine. I'm happy to. Let's share half.
Because
let's snap it.
Yes.
This is a good one. Next week I'll come up with something.
Oh, we're going to eat on this show. Yeah. I wasn't going to eat this, but like, sure. I'm always up for eating a biscuit. Yeah. And with that, we say goodbye, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yes.
But we're really going to eat it. Not like these shows where they just, and then they cut away. Mm-hmm. We're going to eat this Scotch finger biscuit.
We're not sponsored by them, by the way.
No, we're not. One day. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.